Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lynn. If not, welcome back. For today's video, we are outside in my yard because today is the very first time I think the weather has been nice enough for me to do stuff outside in not the blazing sun and without a chill in the wind. Hey everyone, this is Editing Lynn. I literally just said how nice the weather was and it might actually hail tonight. So, the Midwest. For today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about my Hoya Mathilde splash experiment, what I've done to encourage more splashing, and how you can do the same. If that sounds exciting to you, keep on watching. Before I move on with the rest of the video, it's very important for me to let you know that this idea did not come from me. I'm gonna link the original video that I watched on YouTube that gave me this idea to work on this experiment. So that's going to be down in the description box below. He's the original content creator for this idea. It was not me. I just followed his instructions. But what I can say is that it really does work. So if you're interested, just do the same thing. So I don't know if you know, but I love Hoya Mathilde splashes. I think they are so cheap, they're so affordable. You can get them in almost any big box store. You can get them in Ace Hardware, you can get them in Walmart, you can get them in regular nurseries as well. I got this particular specimen. Obviously it wasn't so big. It was like a really small specimen with maybe 4 or 5 notes for $5.99 at Ace Hardware, and then I grew it out on a circle trellis, and this is one of my original mother plants. I have one more mother plant in the house, but it's just too far back. I'm too lazy to take it out. But as you can see, it has a ton of really nice silver splashing. So if you want to create your own Mathilde splash specimen with a high amount of glossy silver, you do need to start off with a splashy mother plant. So go to your big box store or look on your own mother plant and find an extra splashy strand like this one over here. So when you have the extra splashy strand, you can start propagating them and then rooting them out in any medium of your choosing. If you like to root them out in a prop box in soil, do that. For me, I rooted my cuttings out in a propagation box that I've shown on my channel before, in these little seedling starting trays in fluval and water basically, and this has rooted out beautifully for me, as you can see. So I've taken all of the splashy cuttings from this is the original mother plant, and then I grew out this giant bush over here from this mother plant and my other mother plant. So this is now my third mother plant, and if you look at this mother plant, it's even splashier than my original mother plant because I've already gone through the iteration of selecting for the splashiest specimens for this mother plant. So from this and the third mother plant is in the house, I then took more cuttings and I propagated these. So they're really they're extremely rooted. They've been in here for at least 2 months now over winter, and they need a new home basically. So what I do is I choose the splashiest notes, I chop it off, I let it callus, and if you're interested to see my full propagation tutorial, I'll have that link down in the description box below. But I use the exact same process as I do with all of my Hoyas to root out these Hoya Mathilde splashes. And you just pick your nicest note, propagate that, and then when it grows out a new note, and if it looks nice, propagate that, and then keep on doing the same thing over and over again. You're gonna end up with this result. One note of caution though, the Hoya Mathilde splashes do revert very easily. So if they start reverting on you, for example, this strand right here, it's almost fully green, as you can see. This would probably be a strand that I would cut off. But personally, if you enjoy the look of a mixture of high silver and low splash on the same plant, which is a look that I do enjoy, you can keep letting it grow. Just know that the green strands are usually gonna grow a little bit faster than the high silver strands. But yeah, so in today's video, now that I've gone through that extremely long introduction, we will be doing some repotting to, God knows I don't need more Hoya Mathilde splashes, but here I am still doing it. I just think it's so cute. It's such a fun Hoya to grow, and I would highly recommend it. But we will be repotting a bunch of these into soil mixes from Fluval, and that's the gist of it. So all I'm gonna do is pull the seedling tray out of the box, and as you can see, a ton of roots. And this is why I just so enjoy growing out my Hoya cuttings in these seedling starting trays in a propagation box. And if you're interested in that video, I'll have it linked down below as well. But I go through the pros and cons of using these propagation boxes. You can find it on Amazon. I got mine on Palm Street, but they're very similar. You can find the same one on Amazon. And all we're gonna do here, the plastic is like sturdy but not hard, so it's very easy for you to massage the plant out. And all we're gonna do is give it a gentle squeeze back here on this cell. Just give it a nice gentle squeeze, and then it should plop right out, hopefully. I'm just gonna squeeze all of them just to loosen up the roots. Oop. Slippery. And like as you can see, a ton of roots are growing out from the bottom already, so they do need a repot. These boxes are completely reusable, so I've already used them several times to root out different Hoyas. So once you're done rooting out your Hoyas, you can basically just motorcycle. And once riding, because the weather has been so nice, you can just basically pull them out and voila. All done. And then all of this you can like just dump out and rinse and disinfect, and they're ready for your next plant. So since I'm doing this outside and I'm not transferring them into like another semi-hydro container, you don't really have to like get all of the fluval and all of the pond. So in here I have a mixture of fluval and pond. You don't really have to like do anything super intense. I just kind of shake them out and they'll do just fine in soy mix, which is what they're all going into today. And if you're interested in my soy mix recipe, I will have it linked down in the description box below. But I'm just gonna massage the plant and then just shake off as much excess as I can. But like, you don't have to be precise about this, like no big deal. Okay, and here we have all of our Mathilde cuttings that are completely rooted, and I'm gonna start transferring them into their little new homes. Okay, so some very common questions I get all the time: do you reuse your fluval? I think if you're very sure that your plants are pest free, it's not best practice to reuse your fluval, but you can definitely reuse your fluval if you want to. I don't think it's like best practice and I wouldn't recommend it. But if your fluval pieces are still in like nice solid chunks and they are not completely mushed up, and you are very sure that there are no pests in the plants that were in the fluval before, I don't think it's the end of the world if you want to save some money and reuse that fluval. But what I will recommend is like once you're done with the plants in the original fluval mix, like over here, lay it out on a tray and leave it out in the sun to bake. Like let it dry out completely. Let everything just like completely bake dry before you use it for your next propagation is what I would recommend. However, I do think it's not like the best idea to reuse your fluval. So here's one plant all done, and I'm gonna water all of this later on. I have more pots over here. Here's another one. This is a beautiful one. It's kind of like trailing. Ooh, actually. Okay, so what has happened here is that this vine has grown out so much that it touched water and it's like completely rooted out. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop off the node right here and then root this as like a separate, well, not root it, but like pot it up as a separate plant. So can you see how this is like one whole plant by itself? This is wonderful. There's the second one done. And here we have our last pot. Let's plop in that original cutting that I just chopped off the other branch. And then here is a giant tangle of Hoya Mathildes. Oh my god, all of this is just one original plant and it just like rooted out in the middle somehow. Hang on, let me separate these. Okay, so this is one plant. Perfect. Okay, so we have one more over here. one over here, and like I don't know what's going on here. So this is another plant over here, and then I'm gonna pot this whole thing up in this pot. Perfect. I'm just gonna put them all in the same pot, you know, because why not? It's not like I have a ton of space. Okay, and this is our very last Hoya Mathilde. So we have 1, 2, 3 different pots, and I'm gonna be, I mean, they look really messy right now, but I'm gonna go water them basically and rinse off all the soil from the leaves, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished watering the Hoya Mathilde splashes, but like we need to do one final repot. So this is my Hoya caudata. I want to say silver. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check and I'm gonna put the name up on the screen. But it's a very, very splashy caudata, and it has not been loving semi-hydro. So because of that, I am going to move it to a regular soil mix, and hopefully it'll grow better. It hasn't grown much at all over winter, and it's just been very unhappy in the semi-hydro mix. So I'm gonna hope that this will save this plant. Okay, and now this is also done. And if you haven't watched my video from last week about the substrates that I've realized some of my Hoyas prefer, some Hoyas do prefer soil, some prefer semi-hydro. I'm not saying that they don't grow in soil or semi-hydro. I think all plants can grow in soil and in semi-hydro, but this one in particular is not a fan of semi-hydro. I think it does grow better in soil, so that's why we're making the switch today. So if you're interested to learn more about the other case examples I have, go check out that video. Alright, everyone is looking amazing. So these are all of the plants that we just potted up that I've just got done watering. So they look really, really good, including the caudata over here. And that's the chores for the day done. Alright, and that brings me to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me today on my Hoya Mathilde splash walk through, talk through, whatever you want to call it. I repotted a bunch of Hoya Mathildes. The weather is finally nice enough for me to make a mess outside, which is very, very gratifying. And also thank you for joining me on the very last repot on the Hoya caudatas. Again, if you're interested to watch that video about the different substrates, go watch it from last week. And if you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button. And if you want to watch more videos from my channel, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them down in the description box below. You know I love it when you guys say hi, tell me where you're from, what state in the US, or what country, what languages you speak. I am always excited to learn. If you have any questions whatsoever, comment down below. Have a wonderful day. Thank you as always for your attention. I'll see you next time. Bye.